Imagine reaching a stage in life where your hair has turned silver, your steps are slower, and your heart carries the stories of decades. Now, imagine feeling the sudden rush of falling in love again at this age. What if this love is not what you expect? What if it brings more confusion than peace? Have you ever wondered why some say, never fall in love after 50? Why do many find heartbreak more painful now than when they were younger? Could it be that love, after a certain age, is not about passion, but something deeper, or something more complicated? Think about the people you know, or even yourself. How often do feelings of loneliness creep in after years of living alone, or after parting ways with a life partner? Do you seek love as a way to fill that emptiness? Or do you want companionship without losing your peace? Is it possible that our mind, influenced by past hurts and fears, can lead us into a love that causes suffering instead of joy? Here's a simple example. Imagine an old tree, strong and rooted for decades, suddenly trying to grow new branches in a stormy wind. The new branches might break because the conditions are harsh. In the same way, late-life love can face storms from our own fears, regrets, and expectations. It's not about stopping love, but understanding what kind of love truly brings peace. Welcome to Wisdom Writings. In this video, you will discover why falling in love after 50 is different and how Buddhist teachings can guide you toward a love that is free, peaceful, and wise. Stay with us to learn practical insights that may transform the way you see relationships in your later years. If you find this video meaningful, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring more wisdom to your life. Also, don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you. To keep your mind calm and open, comment Namo Buddhi as a reminder to stay positive and peaceful till the video ends. Now, let's explore what makes love after 50 unique and how we can approach it with a gentle and clear heart. Desire is a powerful force. It stirs within the heart like a restless wind, pushing us toward what we want and pulling us away from what we fear. When we are young, desire often takes the form of passion, excitement, and discovery. It feels fresh, like the first light of dawn. But as years pass, desire changes shape. It can become heavier, more tangled with our memories and fears. In Buddhism, desire is called tanha, which means thirst. This thirst is not just for water or food, but for experience, for pleasure, for connection. It is the fire that drives us to seek love, approval, comfort. Yet this fire can also burn. When desire is strong, it clouds the mind, making us grasp at things that cannot last. Imagine holding water in your hands. If you squeeze tightly, the water slips through your fingers. The harder you try to hold, the more you lose. This is the nature of desire. When we try to hold on too tightly to love, especially later in life, it slips away. The more we cling, the more suffering arises. Many people, after the age of 50, find their desire complicated. It is not just about young romance or passion. It is about needing to feel alive again, to feel seen and valued. Sometimes, it is the loneliness that makes desire louder. Sometimes it is the fear of growing old alone. But Buddhism teaches us to look deeply at this desire, not to suppress it, but to understand it. To understand desire is to see its roots. Desire comes from wanting to be happy, but it often forgets that happiness is not found outside ourselves, in other people or things. True happiness, the Buddha said, comes from within. It comes from peace of mind, from freedom, from craving. When love is driven by desire that clings, it can lead to suffering. This suffering is not just heartbreak. It can be confusion, jealousy, disappointment, or sadness. We may expect love to fill all our emptiness, but no person or relationship can do this completely. A wise person learns to see desire as a passing cloud, not as a storm to fight or a treasure to hold. When desire arises, observe it gently. Notice how it feels in the body, in the mind. Does it bring peace? Or does it bring tension? This awareness is the beginning of freedom. In later life, love can become a teacher. It teaches us about letting go. It teaches us about acceptance. When we understand that desire is natural, but not always wise to follow blindly, we open the door to a different kind of love. A love that is calm, kind, and free. This love is not about possession or control. It is about respect and compassion. It is about seeing the other person and ourselves clearly. When desire loses its power to blind us, we can love without fear. Many who fall in love after 50 face challenges because desire is mixed with old wounds. Memories of past relationships, regrets, and fears can cloud the heart. Buddhism offers a way to heal these wounds. Through meditation and mindfulness, we learn to be present with ourselves and others without judgment. This presence allows us to connect deeply without clinging. It helps us to enjoy the beauty of a relationship without needing it to be permanent or perfect. It helps us to be grateful for the moments we share without anxiety about what will come next. The Buddha taught that attachment is the root of suffering. Attachment means holding on tightly, wanting things to be different than they are. In love after 50, attachment can be especially painful because life reminds us daily of change in our bodies, in our loved ones, in our circumstances. To love wisely is to practice non-attachment. This does not mean not caring. It means caring without grasping. It means loving fully, but with an open hand. It means trusting that all things come and go, and that peace is found in accepting this truth. Desire is not our enemy. It is a signpost showing us where the mind is restless. When we see desire clearly, it loses its power. When we see it as a natural part of life, not something to fear or suppress, we become free. In this freedom, love after 50 can blossom in new ways. It can be quiet and steady, like a warm fire on a cold night. It can be gentle and forgiving, without demands or expectations. It could be a deep companionship that nourishes the heart without causing pain. Remember, the journey is not about finding perfect love or avoiding suffering. It is about growing in wisdom and kindness. It is about learning to be at peace with desire, not controlled by it. When desire arises, greet it with curiosity. When love calls, listen with calmness. When the heart feels lonely, hold yourself with compassion. This is the way of the Buddha, the way of seeing clearly, feeling deeply, and living fully without fear. So, as you walk your path after 50, remember this. Desire is natural, but it need not rule you. Let it be a teacher, not a master. Let love be a source of peace, not pain. This understanding brings freedom. Freedom to love, to live, and to be. When we speak of love after 50, it is not merely about the heart's desire, but also about the mind's history. You see, the mind carries many things, like a traveler with a heavy bag on a journey. This bag holds memories, regrets, hurts, and old promises. Each step we take, this bag weighs us down more and more. It is not easy to walk freely with such weight. Think about it. How many times have we met someone new, only to see shadows from old relationships cloud the light of what could be? These shadows are not from the present. They come from the past. The old pain, the unfinished stories, the silent disappointments, they all linger, quietly shaping how we see the new person before us. It is like trying to look through a window that is covered with dust and cracks. When the heart opens to love again after many years, it is natural for old wounds to surface. But here is the teaching of the Buddha. Suffering comes not from what happens, but from how we hold on to it. When we clutch the past tightly, we cannot hold the present gently. We must learn to let go, not to forget, but to release the power the past has over our hearts. Imagine carrying a stone in your hand. At first, it may seem manageable, but after walking for a long time, your arm grows tired and sore. That stone becomes a burden. If you keep holding it, you cannot walk far or enjoy the journey. The stone is like our emotional baggage. To find peace and love again, we must place it down. Many people do not realize how deeply their past affects their present. Sometimes a simple word, a gesture, or a small action from a new partner can trigger old fears. fear of abandonment, fear of betrayal, or fear of loneliness. These fears are like ghosts from the past, and they disturb the calm of the mind. When these fears arise, it is wise not to blame the new love or the new person. Instead, look within and ask, is this my fear or reality? Am I holding on to a story that no longer serves me? The Buddha teaches us about mindfulness, the art of being present with what is, without judgment. When we practice mindfulness, we see our thoughts and emotions clearly. We notice when the past tries to pull us back. We observe the old stories, the old pains, but we do not have to follow them. We allow them to pass like clouds in the sky. This practice helps us heal. Healing is not quick or easy. It takes patience and kindness toward oneself. At 50, the wounds of the heart are not new, but old, sometimes hidden deep inside. It takes courage to face these wounds without running away. But in that courage, there is great strength. When we face our pain with awareness, the pain softens. It no longer controls us. Another teaching from the Buddha is about impermanence. Everything changes, our bodies, our feelings, our relationships. The pain we carry is not forever. It arises, stays for a while, and then fades away. If we understand this truth deeply, we do not fear pain as much. We learn that even heartbreak is a teacher, showing us where we are still attached. Attachment is the root of suffering. We hold on to people, memories, and expectations tightly, hoping they will bring lasting happiness. But when these things change, as they always do, we suffer. In Love After 50, it is essential to see where we are attached. Are we trying to hold on to youth, to the past, or to an idea of perfect love? Or can we accept love as it is? Imperfect, changing, and sometimes painful. One way to lighten the emotional baggage is through forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about saying what happened was okay. It is about freeing ourselves from the prison of resentment and anger. When we forgive, we release the heavy stone from our hand. Forgiveness opens the heart to new possibilities and peace. This forgiveness can be for others or for ourselves. Sometimes we carry guilt or shame for mistakes we made long ago. These feelings weigh heavily on us, making it hard to love or be loved. The Buddha reminds us that all beings make mistakes. This is part of life. To forgive ourselves is to acknowledge our humanity and to choose compassion over judgment. As we grow older, we begin to understand that life is fragile. People we loved may no longer be with us. We may have lost chances or paths we once dreamed of. These losses are real and painful. But holding on to grief without release traps us in the past and blocks the present moment's gifts. The path forward is not to erase the past, but to carry it lightly, like a traveler who knows which stones to leave behind. In this way, Love After 50 can be different. It can be more peaceful, wiser, and more freeing. It is natural to desire companionship, to want to share moments with someone. But the most important relationship we have is with ourselves. If we are at peace inside, love will come not from need or fear, but from fullness and joy. Buddhism teaches that true love is not possession or clinging. It is kindness, compassion, and deep respect for the other's freedom. When we understand this, the emotional baggage does not disappear immediately, but its power lessens. In the quiet moments, we can practice being with our pain without fear. We breathe in, acknowledging the hurt, and breathe out, letting go of what no longer serves us. This practice builds resilience and wisdom. When we stop running from our past, we stop repeating its patterns. We become free to love in a new way, without expectation, without fear, and without the chains of old stories. This is not a denial of love's beauty, but an invitation to see it clearly. Love After 50 is not a second chance to relive youth. It is a new chapter, written with the ink of experience and the paper of wisdom. So, the emotional baggage is real, but it need not be a barrier. It can be a teacher that guides us to deeper understanding and truer peace. The more we practice letting go, the lighter our hearts become. This is the path of a mature love, one that accepts the past, lives fully in the present, and welcomes the future with open hands. May we all walk this path with courage and compassion. In life, many people believe that love is the key to happiness. They think that by finding someone to hold, to care for, or to be with, they will fill the empty spaces inside. But as a Zen master might say, attachment is not love. It is craving, and craving leads to suffering. When we search for meaning only in another person, we bind ourselves with invisible chains. This is true for young and old alike, but after 50, the weight of these chains feels heavier. When a person reaches the age of 50 or beyond, they carry a lifetime of experiences, some joyful, some painful. These memories create stories in the mind. We tell ourselves that love must fix these stories. But the Zen teaching asks us to look carefully. What if the true meaning of life is not found by holding on, but by letting go? We live in a world that tells us to chase after connection, to avoid being alone. But what if being alone, fully present with ourselves, is the most profound way to find meaning? Attachment to people, to moments, to feelings, these are like clouds in the sky. They come and go. If we cling tightly to the clouds, we suffer when they disappear. But if we watch them without attachment, we find peace in the clear sky. Many who fall in love after 50 seek to escape loneliness or fear of the future. This is natural, but the Zen master invites us to question this impulse gently. Is love here to complete us, or to teach us about our own completeness? True love does not depend on someone else. It arises from a deep understanding of oneself, from accepting impermanence, from seeing the nature of change. The Buddha taught that all things are impermanent. People come into our lives and then leave. Feelings arise and then fade. If we expect love to be permanent, we set ourselves up for suffering. The search for meaning beyond attachment begins with self-awareness. We learn to recognize the moments when desire for connection becomes clinging. When we feel the pull to hold tightly, the Zen practice encourages breathing deeply, stepping back, and observing without judgment. There's a beautiful phrase, no attachment, no suffering. This means that if we do not cling, we can enjoy life fully without pain. After 50, the mind may have learned many habits of clinging, but it can also learn freedom. Freedom comes not by changing others, but by changing our relationship to our own mind. Imagine a river flowing smoothly. Sometimes the water is calm. Sometimes it moves fast and rough. If a leaf falls into the river, it does not try to stop the flow. It moves with the water, finding its own place. So too, we can learn to move with life's flow, accepting change, and finding meaning in every moment without grasping. When people fall in love after 50, they often bring the hopes and fears of their past relationships into the present. These can cloud the heart. The Zen master teaches, do not carry the past like a heavy load. Lay it down. See each new experience as fresh, like morning dew on a leaf. This does not mean to avoid love or close connection. It means to love wisely, love that understands impermanence, love that is free from selfish desire, love that is patient and gentle. When love grows from this place, it becomes a source of peace, not pain. The Zen path encourages meditation, the practice of sitting quietly and watching the mind. Through this, we see how thoughts and feelings arise and pass. We realize that our identity is not fixed in these feelings. This insight helps us to love without losing ourselves. We must also remember that meaning in life does not only come from relationships. After 50, there is time to discover passions, to serve others, to practice kindness and compassion. These bring meaning that does not depend on another person's presence or absence. Sometimes, love after 50 can be a beautiful teacher. It shows us where we still cling. It helps us to face our fears of loneliness, aging, and death. But it must be approached with mindfulness and care. The greatest gift one can give oneself is the freedom to be complete alone. This is not loneliness. It is fullness. It is peace. In Buddhism, the heart of wisdom is understanding that nothing lasts forever. This is not sadness, but a doorway to freedom. If we accept this truth deeply, we stop chasing illusions. We stop trying to find meaning in things that change and fade. Instead, we turn inward. We find the stillness inside that no one can take away. This stillness is the true home of love. So, the search for meaning beyond attachment is the search for our own true nature. It is to see that love is not something we get from others, but something we already are. When we realize this, falling in love after 50 is not a risk. It is a gentle unfolding. The Zen master would say, "Live fully, love freely, and do not be afraid to be alone." In this space, the heart blooms naturally. In the quiet of your own presence, there's a profound strength waiting to be discovered. Many people fear solitude, as if being alone means being lonely or incomplete. But in truth, solitude is not emptiness. It is fullness. It is a space where the mind can breathe without noise, where the heart can listen without distraction. When one reaches the age of 50 and beyond, life often offers this solitude more clearly. The distractions of youth have faded, the urgent desires quiet, and the chance to sit with oneself becomes a precious gift. The world often teaches us to seek happiness outside ourselves, through relationships, possessions, achievements. Yet, the Buddha taught that true happiness arises from within. To embrace solitude is to embrace this inner happiness. It is to realize that we do not need another person to complete us, because we are already whole. This wholeness is like a calm lake, undisturbed by the wind, reflecting the sky with perfect clarity. At 50, many may feel a strong urge to connect deeply with others, to share life once again. But the Zen way invites a different view, to find contentment in being alone, not as a punishment but as a path to freedom. When you walk alone in the forest, you listen closely to the rustle of leaves, the song of birds, the rhythm of your own breath. This is the way to begin embracing yourself. It is in silence that the self reveals its true nature, not through words or noise, but through stillness. Loneliness and solitude can seem similar, yet they are not the same. Loneliness is a feeling of lack, a longing for what is missing. Solitude is the peace of presence, the joy of being with yourself. The Zen master encourages you to look deeply into this difference. When a mind clings to loneliness, it suffers. When it rests in solitude, it flourishes. The moment you stop running from yourself, you begin to find a deep well of peace. Embracing solitude means understanding impermanence. Everything in life changes: relationships, health, circumstances. By not clinging to what passes, you open your heart to what is eternal. Your own awareness, your own being. This awareness is like a lamp that lights the darkness, not outside but inside. It guides you through the challenges of aging, loss, and change with grace. Many who fall in love after 50 do so to avoid being alone, to fill a space that feels empty. But a love that depends on filling emptiness is fragile. True strength is found when you no longer fear being alone, when you enjoy your own company, when your heart is full without needing someone else to pour in more love. In this way, you do not lose yourself in love. You bring your whole self to love. In solitude, you can explore the deepest parts of your being without judgment or hurry. You learn to accept yourself as you are, with all your fears, regrets, hopes, and dreams. This acceptance is the root of self-love. When you love yourself truly, you no longer seek to escape pain or fill voids through others. Instead, you open the door to a peaceful love that begins within. To embrace yourself means to be gentle with your mind. Often, the mind at this age is restless, worried about the past, or anxious about the future. The Zen practice teaches us to return to the present moment again and again, like a child coming back to a safe home. When you focus on your breath, on the sensations of your body, you anchor yourself in now. This simple act is a powerful medicine for the heart. Many fear aging as a loss, But the Zen view sees it as a natural unfolding. Like the leaves that fall in autumn, aging is a letting go, not of life but of attachment. When you embrace solitude, you also embrace this process. You become like the autumn tree, standing tall and calm, accepting the changes with dignity and grace. Being alone also allows you to reconnect with nature, the greatest teacher. The quiet sunrise, the gentle rain, the steady mountain, all show us the beauty of being simply what we are. In these moments, you realize that you are part of a larger whole. You are never truly isolated, even in solitude. When you embrace your own company, you create a space where true love can grow. Love for yourself, for life, for the world. This love is free from attachment, free from neediness. It is a deep peace that does not depend on anything outside. It is the love that the Buddha spoke of, boundless, unconditional, and true. Solitude is not loneliness. It is the foundation for a wise and gentle heart. It is the ground from which compassion grows. Compassion not only for others, but for yourself. When you care for yourself deeply, you are better able to care for others without losing your center. In this peaceful solitude, you can reflect on your life's journey. You see the joys and the sorrows with equal kindness. You learn to forgive yourself for mistakes and to cherish the lessons they bring. This forgiving heart is light and free. Some may fear that embracing solitude means giving up on love or companionship. But true love does not ask you to lose yourself. It does not demand that you depend on another for happiness. Instead, it invites you to share your full self with the world without fear or need. You are whole as you are. This is the heart of Zen teaching. To live in solitude is to live in truth. It is to say yes to yourself, no matter what the world says. As you walk this path, you will find a quiet joy that no one can take from you. This joy is steady, calm, and deep. It is the joy of being fully present with yourself, and through that presence, fully alive. Let the fear of loneliness dissolve like morning mist in the sun. Welcome solitude as a friend. Learn to sit quietly with your own thoughts and feelings. Watch them come and go like clouds, without holding on. In this gentle stillness, the wisdom of your heart will awaken. It will teach you that love is not something to find outside, but something to uncover within. When you love yourself deeply, you do not fall in love out of need or fear. You fall in love from a place of freedom. This is the strength of solitude. It frees you from dependency and opens your heart to true connection. Whether you share your life with another or walk alone, your heart remains whole, unbroken, and full. Remember, the journey inward is the greatest journey of all. In the silence of solitude, you meet the truest friend you will ever have, yourself. In the quiet moments of life, when the world slows down and the mind settles, we come to see the nature of companionship more clearly. Many seek company, especially as the years grow deeper and the heart longs not to be alone. Yet, in this seeking, there is a delicate balance to understand, a balance between companionship and clinging. True companionship is not possession, it is freedom shared. It is a dance of two beings, walking side by side without binding the other with chains of need or fear. When a person reaches the age of 50 and beyond, the desire for companionship often grows stronger. This is natural. We have walked long paths, and sometimes the road feels heavy with memories, joys, and losses. Yet, to fall into love that clings is to invite suffering. Like a bird trapped in a cage, clinging love limits the spirit and causes pain. The Zen way teaches us to cherish companionship without grasping, to hold it lightly, like a leaf floating on the surface of a river. Many think love means possession, that to love is to hold tightly, to never let go. But this is misunderstanding. True love, especially in the later years, is like the gentle breeze that cools the skin without destroying the flower. It supports, nourishes, and then lets go. This is the freedom of companionship without clinging. To walk alongside another, not because you cannot live without them, but because you choose to share a part of the journey together. Imagine two trees growing near each other. Their branches may touch, sometimes intertwine, but each tree remains rooted in its own place, nourished by its own soil and sky. This is the way of true companionship. When two people come together without clinging, they honor each other's space and individuality. They do not demand or expect the other to fill emptiness. Instead, they offer presence, calm, steady, and free. Clinging arises from fear. Fear of being alone, fear of loss, fear of emptiness. When the heart is afraid, it tries to hold on too tightly. But this very holding causes suffering. The Zen master teaches that suffering begins when the heart grips too hard. When you cling to someone after 50, you're trying to fill a hole with something outside yourself. Yet the true filling comes from within, from acceptance, peace, and understanding your own heart deeply. As we age, the lessons of life become clearer. We learn that we are whole on our own. Companionship is not about completion, but about sharing wholeness. When two whole people come together, they create a space of joy, respect, and freedom. This is the kind of love that does not bind or limit, but expands the soul. The Buddha spoke often of attachment as the root of suffering. To cling is to suffer, but to love without attachment is to be free. It is not easy, for the mind is accustomed to grasping, to holding tight. Yet with patience and mindfulness, we can learn to love with open hands and open hearts. We learn to give without expecting in return, to be present without needing to control. In this gentle space, companionship becomes a refuge, not a prison. It is a place where two spirits meet in kindness and understanding, each honoring the other's path. They share laughter, silence, and even tears, knowing that nothing lasts forever and that freedom is the highest gift we can offer. When love after 50 is approached with this wisdom, it transforms. It no longer carries the weight of desperation or need. Instead, it is light, like a feather carried on the wind. It teaches patience, respect, and deep listening. It shows us how to be fully present, not lost in fears or expectations. This kind of companionship encourages us to look inward, to cultivate our own peace first. Like the calm lake reflecting the clear sky, our hearts become mirrors, reflecting love and kindness without distortion. When two hearts meet in such clarity, their connection is pure and beautiful, free from the shadows of clinging. It is important to remember that freedom and companionship is not just for the other person, but also for ourselves. By releasing clinging, we free our own heart from suffering. We open to love that nourishes, heals, and grows naturally, without force or control. As the Zen master would say, love is not about possessing the other, but about seeing the other clearly. It is about embracing impermanence, the understanding that everything changes and flows. When we accept change, we accept the true nature of companionship. We must ask ourselves, do we want a love that confines or one that frees? Do we want to hold tightly and risk breaking, or do we want to hold lightly and remain whole? This question guides the wise heart. Sometimes, walking alone is the best companionship, but other times, walking with another in freedom is the greatest blessing. The key is not to confuse the two, to know when to be alone and when to be with others without losing our own center. In every breath, we practice this wisdom. When we meet someone new or deepen a bond, we remind ourselves to love without grasping. We smile gently, knowing that love is a gift to give, not a treasure to possess. This path is not without challenge. Old habits of clinging run deep, but with mindful awareness, we catch ourselves before the grip tightens. We breathe, release, and return to the present moment where true love lives, open, free, and kind. In this way, companionship after 50 can become a source of peace rather than pain. It can be a journey of mutual respect, growth, and shared joy. It could be a dance of two free souls walking side by side, each whole and complete. So, When you feel the pull of companionship in your later years, remember the Zen teaching: love without clinging. Offer your heart freely, but do not lose yourself. Walk with others gently like the wind through the trees, touching, moving, but never holding too tight. In this gentle wisdom, you will find companionship that uplifts rather than confines. It will nourish your spirit and keep your heart peaceful and strong. The path of freedom and companionship is not just a teaching. It is a lived experience. It invites you to be present, patient, and open-hearted. To love wisely is to love with the grace of a calm sea, deep, steady, and endlessly embracing. May this understanding guide your heart. May your companionship be a source of joy, not sorrow. And may you walk this journey with peace and freedom in every step. When we look at the heart of a person who has lived many years, we see a treasure of experiences. These experiences shaped the way they love, the way they feel, and the way they search for meaning. In younger years, love often comes with excitement and desire. It is loud and full of emotion. But as the years go by, the mind grows quieter, the heart wiser. The question arises, what does love mean after 50? Is it the same as before? Or is it something deeper, something more gentle? To find the answer, one must look inside with honesty. Many people believe that love is about needing someone else to complete them. They seek another person to fill the gaps of loneliness or to heal old wounds. But this is a path that can lead to suffering. When we depend on another to make us happy, we give away our own power. We forget that true happiness comes from within, from a peaceful heart and a calm mind. In Buddhism, we learn that attachment is the root of suffering. Attachment is when we hold on too tightly to something, afraid to let go. This could be a person, a feeling, or a desire. When love is mixed with attachment, it becomes a chain that binds us. We may feel joy for a while, but also fear and anxiety. Fear of losing the one we love, anxiety about the future, pain when things do not go as we wish. After 50, the wise path is to seek spiritual fulfillment, not emotional dependence. Spiritual fulfillment means finding a deep sense of peace and contentment inside ourselves. It means loving without needing, caring without clinging. It means understanding that the heart can be full and free even when alone. Many people at this age find joy in simple things: a quiet morning, the smile of a grandchild, the beauty of a flower. These moments remind us that love is everywhere, not only in a relationship, but in all things that touch our life with kindness and grace. When we shift our focus from needing love to giving love freely, we change how we live. We begin to see that love is a gift, not a demand. We give love without expecting anything in return. This is the highest form of love. It is not dependent on another person's presence or actions. It is a love that flows naturally from a heart that has learned to be content. In Buddhism, this kind of love is called metta, loving kindness. Metta is unconditional. It does not ask for anything back. It wishes happiness and peace for all beings, including ourselves. Practicing metta helps us release the fear of loneliness and the need to control others. It opens our heart to the world with compassion and understanding. At times, people wonder if it is lonely to choose this path. They worry that without a partner, life will be empty. But true loneliness is a feeling born from separation, from not feeling connected to ourselves or the world. When we cultivate spiritual fulfillment, we connect deeply to our own being. We find that we are never truly alone. The Buddha taught that every living being has Buddha nature, a pure and peaceful heart beneath the layers of fear, anger, and desire. To awaken this nature is to see that our happiness does not depend on others, but on how we relate to life itself. This awakening is the real gift after 50. When you reach the age of 50 and beyond, life begins to feel quieter. Not because the world is silent, but because your soul has already heard so many sounds. You've seen so much. You have laughed, cried, failed, succeeded, lost, and loved. The heart carries those memories like a river holds reflections. At this stage, many people think they are missing something. And for many, that something is love. But what is love, truly, when you're 50, 60, or even 70? In your younger days, love was wild, full of dreams, and sometimes filled with illusion. You fell in love with someone's smile, voice, touch, or maybe with an idea of what that person could be. But now, life has taught you to see through the masks. You have learned that a soft tone can hide a sharp edge. You've learned that silence can speak louder than words. And most importantly, you've learned that love, if not rooted in peace, can quickly turn into pain. The Buddhist path teaches something very simple, yet most people never understand it. It says that attachment is the root of suffering. And what do most people call love in later years? Attachment, the need to not be alone, the need to be seen, the need to escape from the feeling of being forgotten. But Zen asks you, why are you running from aloneness when it is your greatest teacher? After 50, your soul is wiser than you realize. It doesn't need loud emotions anymore. It doesn't need constant attention. It doesn't need approval. What it needs is peace, deep peace. And true peace is never found in someone else. It is discovered in yourself. If love comes to you at this age, it should come without the hunger of the past. It should not come to fix you, heal you, or complete you. It should simply be like the gentle sun in the morning. Not harsh, not overwhelming, just quietly warm. You may feel lonely sometimes, but loneliness is not a curse. In fact, many monks, saints, and sages live in solitude. Why? Because in silence, they hear the truth. In being alone, they feel full. You too could be that still, that strong. You don't need to fear being alone after 50. You need to fear forgetting who you are. The love you are seeking may not be with another person. It might be in walking slowly under the trees, in sipping tea while hearing the birds, in caring for your body with mindfulness, in helping others with no expectation, in praying or meditating with an open heart. This is love too, and maybe the most powerful form of it. Zen teaches that the highest state is not to be in love, but to be love. When you become love itself, you don't chase anyone. You don't beg for attention. You don't fear rejection. You simply offer your presence, and that is enough. And if someone worthy appears, they will not disturb your peace. They will sit with it. You are not too old. You are not too broken. You are simply in a new season of life. And in this season, you must not plant the same seeds that once brought you sorrow. You must plant stillness, joy, acceptance. That is the garden you now deserve. Buddha did not teach us to avoid love. He taught us to understand it, to be awake within it. So if love finds you after 50, greet it with awareness, not with fear. But don't chase it. Don't mold yourself to fit someone's desire. Don't forget the wisdom you've earned through years of living. You're complete now. The search is over. Before this video ends, I invite you to reflect on this journey. Think not just about love, but about life, peace, and purpose. What have you learned from your past relationships? What can you forgive? What do you let go of? Love is beautiful, but it is not everything. Peace is everything. And now, as we reach the end, I ask you to carry one thought in your heart. May I be free from craving. May I be at peace with myself. Say this gently, like a whisper from your soul. If this message touched you, even a little, please like the video, share it with someone who needs calm, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe to Wisdom Writings. Your support allows us to continue sharing timeless truths with those seeking clarity. And as a gentle reminder to keep your heart uplifted, comment Namo Buddhi below to stay positive till the very end of this journey. Let that sacred phrase guide your spirit like a candle in the night. This was the final step in this path. Now, take what you've heard, sit with it, breathe with it, and live it. Peace be with you.